combat in Lords of the Fallen 2 is bolder, braver, bloodier. This is really where we use that statement quite strongly. What play? You are in the pocket of the enemy a lot more. You're pushing the pace. It's a lot more violent. 23, and what we've been doing on that journey as well. So yeah, players are going to be getting in the faces of enemies a lot all across the game, but we've really been able to implement those lessons in a really effective way for the new game. Start smashing their sword around and really starting to feel like, okay, I've got power behind this. We felt that the class distinction
is something that we are sort of digging our heels into and sort of evolving. The next level, I was pretty taken back at just how cool they
like tools that you have. So going from melee to spellcasting to melee to spellcasting, that's a really cool behaviour.
Yes.
And we really wanted
a use to those heavy attacks, whereby there's a real purpose for them.
Heavy damage. So we wanted to like dial that again, like give the player more. So when they can heavy attack, they can smash and rain hell on them. They can even do so much as they can really charge. Like as a Souls-like player and a fan of the genre is that, every button I have as a consequence I have to plan. It's not just I bash and then, like the hysteric. That guy doesn't stand still. He uses the space
like a dance.
Yeah.
And then it's very much like takes two to tango, and it's sort of, one person takes a foot forward, the other one takes a foot back, and I think that's when it feels at its best. Anyone else in the game, and you have to completely change up. It's not just a case of just like, run, attack.
There's some pretty wild manoeuvres coming in from the player. So executions is probably the biggest one. We won't talk about all of that because I think there's some things that we still want, like stamping on the head, like, things at the side, taking an arm off and then side.
I could roll back and then jump straight back.
The gap.
Yeah, exactly. Close the gap immediately. And obviously,
from melee, and really get players flowing seamlessly between like the range stance and their melee stance so that they can integrate both of those styles of play into their combat loops without having to necessarily fiddle around on the controller and fight for control of the lamp too. The player has a lot
I want to be a Grim Reaper. I want to be harvesting souls, and that's kind of always like what we've wanted to get out of it. So with the scythe, I mean, not only the weapon, multiple enemies out, moving yourself around the space and really being able to the Moon Knight's spellcasting class is possibly one of my favourites. Really customise those builds and really find their own styles and